Talk to the Iron Menial. So. Well. Normally he's right there. There's a second location over here, I know. Yep.
I hesitate to ask, good champion, but would you mind explaining what happened between you and the raider?
I lost my flock.
You speak of the chivalric band to which you belonged. How did you come to lose them, as you say?
Our wings were clipped, we couldn't fly.
I see. A tragic tale indeed. And your form, heartbreaking. Though it boggles the mind to think there was an attack which your defensive prowess could not overcome. Indeed, what could have caused such a thing?
Probably a crucible knight, but it's because of the curse.
Oh, the scarring. This is the work of an accursed blade.
The Executor.
I once read a story in a very old tome about a realm far west of the lands between where fighting erupted. One side was comprised of winged men. They were robbed of these wings by an accursed weapon known as an Ictarus. Countless pinion folk were killed, while their kingdom's fate hung in the balance. Or so the story goes. I never imagined I would meet a living victim.
Ictarus? Like Icarus? Like the story of the guy who had wings and then got him clipped? You're funny. You're a real funny man.
To think the legends were true.
I don't know why my brain put ask there, but about the cursed weapon.
The accursed weapon, the Ictarus, is chronicled in a certain tome. But I'm afraid there are no other clues. The tome was part of a 3-volume collection, and 2 of the set are missing. If I could have read their contents, I may have been able to help you. Good champion. We must pursue this further. We must determine the origin of the curse, to keep history from repeating itself. The books might yet be found in the lands between, and I too would be most gladdened if you were to find them.
Personal objective added. That is way more dialogue than the Wilder one. Defeat the Guardian Golem in Limveld. Uh-huh. What do we have in terms of these? HP restoration upon heavy thrusting attacks. Increased duration for character skill. Stamina recovers with each successful attack. Poise +3. Treasure marked upon map. And dexterity +3. Okay. And I have the urn which you start with, but I also have the goblet which you can buy for 1,200 for each character. But that only has 2 pieces, and we already found one. Oh. I'm blue and red is sitting on Guardian. So either we found our first ever Guardian player, or they also have an objective. Oh, they have a unique skin. I think that's Dawn. There's like Dawn and then Darkness that every character gets that you can buy for 14 and 35k respectively. And since they bought one... Like, since they bought a skin for Guardian, they might actually be a Guardian player. Or they just bought everything. Because they have so much merc. One of the two. Ah. We can go there, and then I'll try to get him to go over here. Jump. Oh, my character's doing the twitchy thing. The boss is underground then. One of these guys. These are good because you can pretty easily shield and guard counter, and then they either back up or teleport most of the time. Oh, beautiful. I'm gonna throw the pin on there. We didn't have enough for the level up. And again, my character's twitching. I guess we can go, but I want to hit that. My plan was to go here, then there, then there. But I feel like here, then here is a lot less efficient, and they're probably just going to ignore my thing. If this or this aren't the next marks, then I'm just going to completely ignore them and I will go off on my own. Because I do not like Guardian enough. Unfortunate. But I don't like Guardian enough to play him several times because the team doesn't want to go do personal objectives. Yeah, no, so I'm just going to ignore the team then. Just goodbye, I'm off on my own. Like that, not something I want to do, not something I like to do. But if I place a ping and you just completely ignore it, and I'm like, hey, we could go here. Got a day to do that. And you just go, nope, we're going here, then here, then here. It's like, nope. We bullied him into it. I thought I could break his stance, but evidently I could not. But I'll do this first, but then after that I'm going after my personal objective. And I truly, thoroughly do not care if they come or not. I'll ping, but if they aren't coming along, probably won't have time to do it now, actually. I wanted to do it first thing because it was at the very edge of the map. I thought, well, not gonna have time to do much before that. Yep. It's going to be the first thing I go to day 2 then. Improved incantations. But yeah, I had some really good games yesterday where all 3 people were putting down pings and we all listened to each other's pings. Bless do. It's only 2 HP per second, which isn't that much. But oh my god, I love Bless do. It is my child. It's my baby. Yeah, see, if we'd gone for my personal objective first, we could have hit that church now. And we could have had my personal objective done. We could have had the church hit, but instead, this clown insisted on doing the interior thing first, and then the exterior thing after. And he only agreed on the exterior thing after we, like, after me and the other guy both collectively went, absolutely not. No. We have our thing and we're doing our thing. Okay. Thankfully, he was able to get them up. Poison pot. I don't care for poison pots. I want the thing that cures poison, not the thing that gives poison. Can we make this? Oh, we can. Oh, he was being sent everywhere. Now, you might have wondered what that was about. And that was about how I tried locking on to the enemy directly in front of me, but the game refused. And unfortunately, that guy died again. I'm gonna go for that one because it's more on the exterior, meaning we have less time to actually do it. But yeah, I don't care if I have to run. I don't care if the night 1 boss is here. I'm running all the way down here to my personal objective. First thing, day 2. I'm gonna pin it in case my team follows, but if not, I don't care. I will go solo. And I don't like going solo, but I have the philosophy of, if you're going to ignore my pins, I'm fine ignoring your pins. And that's just how it is. We're a team, and if you refuse to act like a team, then we're not a team. And it do be that simple. If you refuse to act like a team, then we're not a team. Pop that. Yeah, we can do that. But yeah, that's just how I operate. If you respect my pings, I'll respect yours, but if you don't respect mine, I'm not respecting yours. And I go further than that. Arrows reach, and we have a bow. So, there's that. But, like, I'll go out of my way to buy items to drop them for someone if I see them as a good teammate, or even just as, like, a competent teammate. But if they ignore my pings, I'm ignoring theirs. Okay. And yeah, like, I would rather buy items and drop them for the Iron Eye who's died like 3 times than this guy who is objectively better, but he's not respecting my pings. Because, like I said, this is a team-based game. You need to operate as a team. And if you're not gonna be a teammate to me, I'm not gonna be a teammate to you. I hear a thing. There they are. See, if that guy had respected my one singular ping, then I would have just said, okay, I'll pin that Erdtree's favor and he can have it. But, and also I saw him there at a boss, and I would have fought that boss with him. But because I have one singular ping and he didn't respect that and he just blatantly ignored it, I'm blatantly ignoring his stuff as well. That's 72, this is 61. $110, $117. But yeah, that's just how it is. But even though I'm not gonna respect him as a human being or as a teammate, even if I think someone is a crummy person or a crummy teammate, I still don't throw. So if he goes down, and I can reasonably revive him, I'll still revive him. Because... Ooh, that was different. I have one that adds a duration, but his threw the enemy in the air. I wonder if we'll get a thing for that. Bell-bearing hunter. Yeah, I said it as a joke, that even if it ends up at the very top, I'll still go right for it. I didn't think that it was going to end up at the very top. I thought Night 1 was going to be like in the middle around like here. And we can get this critical hit in. Yeah, I really like added duration for Executor's skill. because it goes from making it borderline useless to actually having not decent damage, but it can actually, like, kill low-tier trash mobs. That is satisfying to dodge. Longer invincibility windows. And I wasn't joking, I'm going for it. Like, I can respect that because it's actually a good call and it's on the way. Whereas I thought that was death. I thought that was the open ocean. I was about to say, I hear one around here. I'll ping that for him. Why not? I'm not fully evil. I don't even know what that is on the map. I don't think I've ever seen that before. If I get to it, I might recognize it, but I don't recognize the symbol. Definitely. And again, this is on the very edge, and I have to run across the entire map to get to it. So we don't have time to be diddly-dallying around. And we certainly don't have the time nor the immorality to be diddying around. So that is far worse. And we ping that. I get that I just said that we don't have time. But I like killing those scarabs. They're fun to kill. I hear it. I think it's off to the left. Just gonna ignore them. Them. Oh. I'm just gonna... I've seen this before. The cracked golem? Oh. Rude. Okay. Yeah, the shield isn't completely useless. But you just need to be faster for the most part. Hoping that we can break their stance. There we go. Ooh, they almost stopped us from getting that. But yeah, if you watch my previous parts, I pretty much always respect my teammates' pings, and I always help them with their personal objectives. Stone stake. Okay. HP restoration on attacks. I hear it. Ah, back there. I was going in the wrong direction. So I don't care for that. The ones that boost resistances are useless. Oh, but there's another one around here. I hear it. And there's a boss here. But yeah, just keep that in mind. I always help teammates with their personal objectives. And because I always help teammates with their personal objectives, I get that these aren't the same people, but I still expect, like, I expect people to help each other out. Sir, please. And see, because he finally gave up and went, okay, I'll help you with your personal objective. There, I revived him, even though it put myself in danger. And now I'll follow any of his pings with physical attack. We didn't have to run across the entire map to do that. We landed pretty close to it. And like I said, we could have hit that, hit that, hit that, hit that, hit that. It would have been so much more efficient. It would have given us so much more time. It would have let us take on so many more bosses. It would have been the objectively better play. And he just didn't go for it. Because he was like, I don't care about your personal objective. And if we die, it's his fault. Because he decided to go with the objectively worse route. Whereas, if I have a teammate and they put down a ping saying, hey, I have a personal objective over here. Absolutely, friend, let's go do it. Like, you have a job that you need to get done, I got you. While he's fighting them, this giant over here is going to be throwing magic pots at him. So I'm actually going to take on this giant. And I couldn't lock on to this guy, so I'm just going to free aim. And the fact that I have to free aim is ridiculous. And I don't know what this giant is doing. But he's not attacking, so I'm just going to two-hand. There he is. There's the life in him. But now I can run over here. Boost HP restoration from Flask, yes please. And that allows me to get that while they kill him. Raise physical attack, yes please. And then that allows me to catch up with them. With little delay. Okay. I was about to say, are they, like, did they go in a different direction? Because if they did, then whoops. He really just pushed me off. So rude. 155, what I have on is 140. This is 140, this is 140. Alright. I don't know where that 150 number came in. That was weird. Troll's golden sword. If I had more FP, I would do that. Yeah, there we go. Now, I think we're good. Yeah, notice how he was leading this entire time. And then when we bullied him into following someone else's pen twice, now he's just like, I don't know where to go. You see? Death or... Nope. What can I say? I know this game better. I don't care if he's got a skin. I know this game better. Partially because I have better decision making, and partially because I have two different characters and both of them have a skin. Okay, they're dead. Are they still trying to fight the Deathrite bird up top? Kinda don't want to go into... Oh! Alright, nope. Where's that pin? Okay. Is that a jump? That is a jump. Yeah, if they had followed me, we might have been able to take them out. But not really upset with them not following me. I mean, I didn't follow him up there, but also it was a Deathrite bird. He's dead again. This is what happens when you have one person who refuses to listen to pings. This is also what happens when you have Guardian. Especially two Guardians. But only going Guardian because of the, like, Remembrance. Outside of that, I go characters that are both more enjoyable and stronger. Yeah, we can take out the enemies here. Like, we have the time. We definitely have the time. Okay. But he's dead again. Where is this guy? Oh my, he's way back there. And he left. Alright, so the only reason, because mind you, when you die and respawn, you respawn outside of the range. Like, inside of the safe circle. Meaning the only reason for him to be there is for him... Or the only reason he would have been there isn't because he got a bad spawn, but because he deliberately ran back into the rain. And the only reason to do that I can think of is either because you desperately need those runes, or because of an ego. And considering how he ignored our pins until we bullied him into... Because we basically said, okay, both of us agree that we're going in this one place that you don't want to go. Meaning, you have two choices. Either play the game alone, or follow us. Those were his two choices. Go alone or follow us. Mind you, I'm focusing on these guys because they have shield, and Iron Eye isn't very good against shields. Whereas the main tree sentinel, while he does have a shield, he doesn't really use it that much. So it's easier for him to go against the tree sentinel compared to the Royal Cavalryman, so that's why I went for them. But anyways, yeah, just with everything combined, I think that he just had a massive ego problem, and then because we refused to cater to his every just want, because they aren't needs, because we refused to cater to his wants, and because he didn't have the skill to back up his ego, which got him killed several times, his ego got hurt, and he refused to accept that, so he opted to just rage quit instead. And I've had some games where I played very poorly. I've had some games where I've had teammates absolutely refuse to heal me, or like revive me when I went down. Thankfully, that was only one match, but both of these, the top middle one, are both really good. I'm gonna go with that one though. But yeah, I had a game where my teammates absolutely refused to revive me. And I lost, I think, 2 or 3 levels because of that. Let's see, what does this take? That takes a 2. Okay. But yeah, I lost like 2 or 3 levels because of that. Never rage quit. And if people, like, if someone else wants to lead, I'm fully willing to let them lead. But if someone places a ping down, I will follow. If I place a ping down and they place a different ping down, I think their ping is better or about as good, and I see that they're running towards their own ping, I'll go towards their ping as well. But if my ping is objectively better, and they place an objectively worse ping, or they just don't ping at all, and just ignore mine, then I don't rage quit, I just go off on my own. Or I'll stick with them, but I won't put myself in dangerous situations to revive them. or if I see a boss that I don't think we can win, like I don't think we can beat, I'll just leave, like I did with the Deathrite Bird. Alright. Cool. But, gotta remember, there's only 2 of us, which means both of us are going to be taking more aggro. And rude. But yeah, both of us are going to be taking more aggro. They go for me, so I run away. And Guardian doesn't exactly have a lot of mobility, so rude. 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 You're being a bully. That went horribly. Oh, why, hello. Let's just back up. Going for him. We could both just sit back and use our bows. And then, like, he focuses on Iron Eye. Iron Eye can focus on dodging. He looks at me. I can focus on dodging. We could do that. Whoever's being looked at can just dodge, while whoever's not being looked at can shoot. Doesn't work quite as well in this form. Rude. Ah, there we go. There we go. We got at least one looking at us. We can drop this. And they went very far away. They saw me drop that and went, oh, absolutely not. Looks like they're all back in one now. And yet, Iron Eye's character ability makes him very good at dodging. Pop that. And I think we win this. I think we win this. Look at that. even with just 2 people, we still won. So Booth Taster, with his massive, fragile ego, couldn't handle that we wouldn't follow him, despite him playing the worst character, and just blatantly ignoring that someone had a personal objective. And so his massive, fragile ego cracked and was hurt, and he left. And me and Iron Eye, we pulled it through. Me playing, again, the worst character that I have very little experience on, and Iron Eye kept going down in the beginning. So, there we go. But here, stone stake. A stone stake that opens a sealed away lock. So now we can check the journal to see what that's about. With the remembrances, you should always check the journal. Talk to the Iron Menial. And you should always assume that you need to talk to the Iron Menial before heading into an expedition.
Is that? Did you find it? Thank you. Indeed, that's the key we're after. The witch brought the tome to me, bound though it was. But now the seal can be undone.
Second volume. Annals detailing cursed weapons.
The terrible thing is a product of war. However, the origin of the curse is still frustratingly opaque. Perhaps we shall discover it in the remaining volume.
Remembrance completed. Oh. Concluding Remembrance and returning. Proceed. You can also do it at the journal. Guardian's journal was updated by the recovered memory fragments. There we got the stone stake. So, we did chapter 4, so now chapter 5. This is a memory of the old flock. The Guardian was the sole survivor of a war in which there was no hope of victory. It was in battle that the flock was whole and could rebuff any and all who dared face them. Knights of the Pinion Folk feared not death. It was their duty and their pride to give themselves for the sake of the whole. The flock would always grow new feathers. But with ease, it was with the cursed blades stole from the flock their wholeness and unity by instilling in them the fear of losing their flight. Before the curse, the Guardian's shield was powerless. This is a memory of the new flock. While in the study, in wafted the alluring savor of freshly baked bread. The taciturn warrior must have been in a mind to cook. Led by the aroma in the courtyard, the pirate's bellowing laughter rang out. The outer had an arrow aimed at the big man. The Guardian had no mind to stop their amusement, for he knew they were merely making merry. The swordsman said not a word, and headed to his easel. They were a flock that was far from whole, imbalanced, and uneven. He wondered if the word even truly applied. It was around that time that the unfamiliar merchant arrived. And yeah, Executor has a cursed blade. And again, every character has a basic Dawn and then Darkness, which Dawn always costs 14k, Darkness always costs 35k. Personal opinion, Dawn on the Wilder, Darkness on the Duchess, which I purchased, and Dawn on the Recluse are the 3 best. I'm actually gonna get that now. But yeah, next up on the chopping block, instead of the next Wilder or next Guardian, is going to be the first Iron Eye one. So, we'll do that when we get to that, and... Oh, new Duchess location.
What is it? I'm better with technical weaponry. Heavier ornaments are not my forte. What is it? One monstrosity was trouble enough. To think there were so many more. But things are finally moving in the right direction. Wouldn't you agree?
So, I always hear that there are 8, but here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it was mentioned by one of the NPCs, I think the Duchess, that you need to beat 4. So you need to beat this one, Tricephalos Gladius. You need to beat Gladius to unlock these 6. And then you need to beat any of these 6. Like 3 of any of those 6. And then I'm assuming after that you're going to get access to the 8th one. Because I heard there were 8. I only see 7 here. If it's not that, then you have to beat... Then beating 4 will get you something else entirely. And then you have to beat all 7 to unlock the 8th. It's one of those two. But anyways... Ooh, so this is actually a relic. Guardian. Increased duration for character skill. And character skill cooldown reduction +3. Okay, so... For the Wilder, we got the Slate Whetstone, which I don't use because I don't think it's that good. I have better ones already. But this one for Guardian, that's actually good. Here, HP restoration upon heavy thrusting sword attacks and lightning attack power up +2. Increased duration for character skill and character skill cooldown +3. That's way better. Although here I also have increased duration. I wonder if those two stack. But anyways, good progress. Once I get done with the remembrances, I'm not playing this character again. But yeah.